Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to my Facebook page. I hope you guys having a good holiday. I hope everything is going good for you guys. Yeah. So Matilda Susan is here again. Just here, continuing again with the topic about the men. And I know that a lot of men are not watching things that's actually going to help you from having a lot of stress if you follow up to this. But I see that like one men are not sharing and they're not watching. Hmm, okay, so that won't stop me from doing it. So I'm gonna keep on doing it. So yeah, so today the topic is what kind of man are you going to be to your wife? Because there are a lot of men that can be abusive, that can be caring. So what category are you fitting? What kind of man are you gonna be to your wife? So today I'm gonna be listing the characteristic of a real man. So you as a man here, or if you're a woman, you can classify if your man is a real man or a boy. So this is what I'm going to be talking about today. So what kind of man are you going to be to your wife? Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to start. You can cross check. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just going to read out the characteristics and you can make your own decision what kind of man you are. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say. So, what kind of man are you going to be to your wife? What kind of man? So, number one, what should a real man be? What should a real man be? A real man has the image of God, like the image of God, the Father, right? So everyone, each and every one of us have the image of God. Number two, a real man take responsibility of everything. Everything. When I said everything, I mean everything. He brings peace. He brings stability. He brings reliability in all aspects at the home. That's who a man is. A real man is brave and is courageous at the same time. So, are you courageous? Are you a brave man? So, a brave and courageous are built in a man by God. You need to know that. Courageous and braveness are built in a man. So, if you're a man, you don't have that, even though it's built inside of you, you need to get it out. Okay. So, the courage of a man is his ability to overcome himself. So making bold decision at work is easier than when you have to humble yourself and break down before your wife. That's two different things, right? So courage is manifested by the humbleness yourself and controlling your emotion instead of reacting. That's what a real man is. Bravery and courageous is a willpower. You need to understand that. Courageous is the ability to control oneself and to control one's emotion. That is what a real man is. That is a character man, a heuristic of a man. Now, you cannot control your emotion. When you're a woman, you react just like that, smack your woman, beat your woman, do whatever. Now, that's not who a real man is. A real man does not hit a woman. A real man does not abuse a woman. A real man cares, not take care of the woman. So you judge. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying this. If you fit into this character, good for you. If you don't, then you need to work on yourself on that aspect. Okay. So a man uh, um, defecting a whole city, but I want to read actually wait. Let's just read Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. What does Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32 say? He said, he who is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who is ruling his spirit than who takes the city. Right? What does that mean? A whole man can defeat a whole city, but it turned out that a man who is able to manage his emotion, who is able to control himself internally, is better and stronger, more than courageous and bold than a conqueror of a city. So you need to, as a man, you need to control your feeling. You need to control your feeling. You need to be humble. You need to do this thing. You not don't react to everything, because some men react to everything. Sometimes you need to learn how to control your feeling so you don't have to act all the time, because you're a man. You're supposed to be brave. You're supposed to be courageous. You can't be acting like a woman quickly like that. So courageous lead to humility. When a man is courageous, he's lead to humility. Humanity. And it's sometimes difficult for a man to overcome himself. I get that, right? Men think logically. If they see people are looking at them, his logic tells them it's a shameful thing, right? Like, this is what happens. So when a man ego or status is very serious to him, so they try to do everything possible so that he is respected in the society. Men knew that they need to help with the bag, right? They need to open the door for the lady, but will not, because it is not acceptable by the public man. Love public or something, right? So they won't do it. They know it's your job, but they think, oh, if I do this, if I hold my woman back, or if I hug my woman, or I do this or that, what is the public gonna say? Who cares what the public is gonna say? You are loving your wife. You are showing. It doesn't care what the public say. As long as your wife is happy, that's supposed to be your priority, not pleasing the public. And when you go home, then you're gonna live in a hell. That's not it. Please your woman, make your woman happy. That's all that matters. But you're gonna please the public eyes, and then you're making your woman uncomfortable or not love. I don't think it's a wise decision as a man. So don't pretend to the world and making the world satisfied, and then not satisfying your lady, because it's not gonna be pretty at all. I rather satisfy my than satisfy the public, because the public, you can never satisfy the public, you can never make the public happy, but you can make your wife happy, right? So men need to educate themselves in the right attitude towards a woman. That is very important. If you don't educate yourself for the right attitude towards women, you will always have headache, you will always have problem, you will always have difficulty. There are a lot of women. There is a book, actually, it's called The Female Brain. Okay, there's one also for the man, The Male Brain. So you as a man, you need to read that book. How does the female brain works? Because when you tackle that, you know that you're gonna have good relationship with your wife. You're gonna have good relationship with your children if they're female. You're gonna have it because you have taken the time to educate yourself. Like, for a job, when you go for a job, they're not just gonna hire you because you said you know how to do the job. They want to see a proof. They need to see that you went to school, that you were trained before they can offer you the job. They can't just give you the job by just saying, hey, I know how to do this job. Even though you know how to do the job, they want to see the proof. They want to see that you went to school, you had some training. So it's the same thing. Before you even think as a man to get into a woman's life, you need to understand how women function. If you don't, you're gonna have a lot of hell of a problem with that woman, because you don't know how women function. So I'm going to read also Matthew chapter 23, verse 12. What does Matthew chapter 23, verse 12 say? He said, and whosoever exalted himself will be humbled, and whosoever humbled himself will be exalted. What does that exactly mean? He said, whosoever exalted himself will be humbled, and he who humbled himself will be exalted. So when you humble yourself, people will exalt you. People will praise you. People will glorify you. People will do all the things because you humble yourself. Wow. Because that is what even God, Jesus Christ, while he was here on earth, he humbled himself. He did things that, even though he had so much power to do so many things, but he went and do things that people will not even expect that he was going to do, right? So if you're in the image and likeness of God, you will act according to how God is acting. So another thing, what kind of man are you going to be? So are you, man, going to control your emotion? Man need to think first before reacting. Men, a lot of men don't do that. They don't think before they react. So as a man, you need to think before you react. Don't just react and later on you start thinking. That is the wrong thing. Think before you react. When a woman do something, think about it. What is the consequences if I act this way, if I act that way, or this? What are the consequences? And you look at the consequences. What kind of consequences would you like to have once you react in that kind of way that you're gonna react? So you need to know that. Also, men, a real man, listen and take advice from others. Real men take listen and take advice from others. Do you listen to take advice from others? Do you do that? Because God gave the man the quality and ability to accept advice. Men reaction is, don't tell me what to do. That's what they usually say. You don't tell me what to do. I'm the boss of this house. I'm the man of the house. You don't tell me what to do. But you, as a man, as a real man, you need to take advice. Say, hey, let me listen to my woman. Don't think that your woman is dumb or stupid. She can't give you advice, or she can't tell you what to do, because that's what men do. You don't tell me what to do. I do whatever I feel like doing. And then when the woman act that kind of way, you get offended. So don't behave in a way that you don't want the same person to do that. So men think if a woman suggests something to him, she wants to take the lead over him. That's not true. When a woman suggests something, that doesn't mean that woman wants to take the lead over you. That woman wants to be the man. It's just because maybe that woman has seen that same idea work in a better way. And so the other woman is giving you a suggestion saying that, hey, I think it will work this way because I've seen people do it this way and it works. And there was a result. But that way that you're doing, it might be risky, it might be difficult, because we're here to help, right? That's what God created us. He creates Eve to help, to be a helper. So if a woman is trying to help you out in your visions or in some kind of thing, you should listen. You should listen. It is very advisable for you to listen to your woman. One, don't think that you know it all, because it might not be always. She's a helper. So a man does not want to be told what to do because he's afraid of losing his leadership role. That is the reason why men don't like that. God lead God lead a helper to man in the person of his wife. Your wife is your helper. But if your wife is trying to help you and you're not accepting what happened, the relationship starts malfunctioning because she's your helper. So when she give you a suggestion, listen to it and think about it. Don't just throw it aside and say, no, that's not good enough. Right? So just in order to save from all trouble through their advice. So pride prevents a man from listening to the wife. That is another thing. The pride prevents you to listen to your wife. It is wrong. And men need to develop an ability to listen and value the word of their wife. You need to, as a man, you need to value your wife, the word of your wife. So it is very useful for a man in a marriage, because communication is the basic of every relationship. If there is no communication, you lack communication in your relationship, guess what? That relationship is not going to stand. That relationship will not stand, because communication is the key to a successful relationship. So another thing too, a man should become a risk taker. A man who are risk taker rules the world. If you look at all the men today that are billionaires or millionaires, they're risk taker. They take risk, but not stupid risk, reality risk. Say, if this doesn't, what is the consequences of this risk that I'm going to take? So men who have significant results in life are risk taker in every sense of the word. For example, I'm going to lead you some people in the world that are a risk taker, and today they are really successful based on the risks that they take. For example, Bill Gates, that we see all today, he's a billionaire. He has a lot of money. If you look at him, he doesn't even look like it. He left Harvard University in his second year, and he went on to adventure with an opening. He took a risk, right? That's a one person. Steve Jobs also, he was another man who took a risk to do computer company that developed successful computer that we're using today, iPad, iPod, all those kind of things is worth $1 trillion right now. Another man that was a risk taker that's been successful today was Warren Buffett. He's also a millionaire, a billionaire, I will say. That is the king of investment. He invests, he take risk. So man need to take wise risk to improve yourself. Another man that we all know about that we just had his birthday celebrated and a couple of days ago, a couple of days ago, is Jesus Christ. He went through Jerusalem himself. He all his logical thinking that people try to stop him, but he went to embrace death with his own leg. That's a man that was a risk taker. Jesus Christ took a lot of risk when he came to earth to save mankind. So that's kind of man you want to be. Another man too, Paul in the Bible. Paul also was a risk taker. He had normal work, but he left everything to follow God because he think that was the best thing that he could ever do for his life. Moses too. Moses was another one. So these are people that have taken risks in life today. They have conquered the world. Today we celebrate them. Today we talk about them because they take the right. So you as a man, you need to take a risk to leave a legacy for generation and generation to come. Not just sit on the couch at home or let your woman do the work and you sit at home and do nothing. But you need to take risks. You need to do something so that you leave legacy for not only for your children, for generation to come. So Jesus had calculated that he was going to go. Let's talk about Jesus, for example. Jesus had calculated that he was going to go to crucifixion, right? He knew all that that will come in front of him. He knew that he was not losing at the end. Smart risk taker take reasonable risk. All real man is a man of risk. Okay, it is better to be a husband who take risks and does something that one who lies on the couch and waits for his wife to come home and take action. You're not supposed to be a man. You're supposed to take risks. You're supposed to take responsibility and not the woman taking the responsibility, because today men are being weak. Instead of them taking responsibility of the home, they let the woman take responsibility of the home. Hey, you are losing your leadership role there because you are supposed to go out and do the stuff, not the woman. The woman might have a good job. Yes, let her have a job, let her do. But you need to take responsibility because you're losing. You are losing as a man if the woman is doing anything. Don't tell me that, oh, well, the woman have a good job. The woman can afford it. No, don't tell me that. If the woman puts effort and power and did something for her life, don't you think that you as the man at the head of the home, don't you think that you can do something even greater than the woman? Why are you allowing the woman to take the lead? Why? You are supposed to be the head of the home, not the woman. You're supposed to do everything that needs to be done, not the woman. So a man must carefully weigh the risk because sometimes men can be abused through the craving for risks, like casino. I'm not telling about taking a risk. I'm going to gamble with my money, or I'm going to do drugs or a criminal kind of things. That is not kind of risk I'm talking about here when I'm talking about risk. Taking risks, say, I'm going to work, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do by using your head, what the risk that you're taking, not gambling or doing drugs or all that kind of stuff. That is not what I'm talking here. So a man is a conqueror. You need to know that a man is a conqueror. God created a man as a conqueror. So whatever you do, whatever you put your hands or lay your hands, you're going to conquer it because you're putting God as the center of it, and you're going to go because you're going to try to provide for your family. So men often use the energy in the wrong direction. A lot of men use the energy in the wrong direction. You need to channel your energy in the right direction instead of the wrong direction. So a man is created to be achieve success. Okay, but basically very few men achieve real result of success. Very few. Every man is capable of doing it. It's not the women. Well, because I'm just saying the reason why A lot of women are standing up today because men don't want to rise up. Men don't want to stand up to become a real man. They are being a boy. So the women are saying, well, we got to do something because the world is turning upside down. If we just sit down and watch the men doing absolutely nothing and us not standing up and doing something, it's going to be a problem. So the women are standing up and becoming a man, and you guys are letting them to be that. You guys are not saying, hey, let's stand up and let be the man in this situation. So if a person does not have the right direction to spend his energy on the acquire from God or to fulfill his calling, he will begin to engage in nonsense. That's what happened in a lot of men. They engage in so much nonsense today that because they're not pursuing their callings, they're not fulfilling. So they're doing all kind of nonsense. One of these days, actually, I'm gonna be doing a broadcast about the videos about men that are actually doing sex videos about women, putting it on social media. You're not a man enough. If you are a man that's taking its naked picture of a woman and posting it on social media, or doing a video and blackmailing a woman, you're not a man enough. Because if you're a man enough, you will never do such thing. You will never embark in such thing. One of these days, I'm going to compile some stuff and I will do a broadcast on that. Also, yeah, so let me just round up right now, and I'm gonna have some questions for you and you can answer those questions. And yeah, so, or maybe let's just go to the question because I already have like 8 minutes. I'll just go to the question now. So number one question, there's only two questions actually. So yeah, so please, man, look at this criteria, look at this characteristic that I just described, and see yourself. Are you exhibiting those character? Or if you're not, it's not too late. You can go and you can work on those character and you can start showing that. Because men need to stand up. Men, they need to take their place back because they lose their place. And if you don't stand up and do something, you're gonna keep on losing your place until you start doing and taking care. You're taking responsibility of what you're supposed to be doing because God gave you the responsibility here on earth. When he created man first. He gave him responsibility. If you also missed my YouTube channel, I did in the summer about I did how to be single, married, divorced, and life after divorce. There is a whole series on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to it. You can go check it out. And yeah, man created Adam first. Sorry, he created Adam first, and he gave him responsibility before he brought a woman. So a man needs to take care of a responsibility first before you even thinking about a woman. If you cannot do that, don't think about it. Because if you bring that woman into your life, you bring that woman without you doing what you're supposed to do first, guess what? It's going to be a chaos. It's going to be a headache for you, the woman, and the children, and everybody is going to be stressed because you, the man, lack your responsibility. You lack your duty as a man. You are not doing your duty as a man. So what happened when you're not going to be respected? You're going to be molested. You're going to be having all of these things because you have not done your assignments yet. You need to do it because when God created Adam, he gave him responsibility. He said, here, I create you as my image and likeness. Here, I want you to have a job. That was the first thing God gave. He gave him his image. He gave him a job, and he told him, take care of this earth. You need to come to my presence, have a relationship with me. If you man, you're not doing all of these things, and you get into a relationship, you don't have a relationship with God. You don't have a job. You don't know how you function. You don't know your vision. Why God called you here on earth? Oh my God! You get into a relationship. Oh God, help you. It's gonna be hell because you don't know your direction. So how will the woman help you to find your direction when you don't even know where you're going? So you see how chaos the relationship is gonna be because you don't know where you're going. How will the woman help you? Because before you want a woman, you should know where you're going. But if you don't know where you're going, and now you bring a woman, how will the woman direct you? It's just gonna be one big mess. So please, I advise you that you have a job, know your calling and purpose here on earth. Make sure you are well satisfied. Make sure you are mentally ready. You are intellectually ready, prepared for a marriage before you even think about it. If you don't, oh my Lord, God help you. It's gonna be a lot of stress on you and the woman. So let's do the question and we're gonna end. So number one question, it's only two questions. How would you answer to this? Preparing for marriage means what to you? How preparing to marry means to you? What does it mean to you? Because a lot of people might think that. I want you to answer that question. Preparing for marriage mean what to you? What does it mean to you getting prepared for marriage? What does it? Because a lot of people get this mixed up thinking that you getting prepared to marry is buying a wedding dress or buying a ring. That's not it. That's not it. Okay? That's not it. Or some people might think having a rich life experience. Oh, I am ready to get married. That is not it either. If you're thinking in that direction, that's not it. Getting a job and a house because you and a man get a house or get a job, that means, oh, we should get ready to get married. That's not it either. Or choosing a girl or choosing a man that's getting ready for marriage. No, that's not it. If that's what you're thinking, that is not it. But you preparing for marriage, this is what it is. You have to read a lot of books about women to understand exactly what is your responsibility as a man, as a husband, as a father. You need to know that first before you even think about getting married. You need to listen to lot of videos that are available today in online. You need to go through them. You need to study them. You need to study them until they become flesh in you. You start acting them out. Not only studying them, knowing them, but you need to also act them, put them into practice. You need to go through lots of retreats, preparing yourself for marriage, passing the test of reading for marriage. You need to do all of that. If you don't do that, you rush into marriage, you get into it, it's going to be a hell for you and the wife. And if you guys bring children into it, it's going to be. That is why a lot of people end up in divorce today, because they are not prepared enough, because they are not ready enough. They are not intellectually ready yet. They are not morally ready yet for getting married. So some men are not even ready to lose their friendship or their best friends to get married. So when they get in, and there is a conflict. And number two, the last one, and I'm going to end. In your opinion, what awaits the groom who married without special preliminary training? What awaits you? If what awaits you as a man when you married without specially preparing or without training, what awaits you? What awaits you? So there are problems that await you for sure. When the honeymoon ends, it will be face to face with the realistic of marriage and the shock of pending. Because when you're not ready, that what is awaiting you? A lot of problems, it's waiting to face you. The realistic of for wedding is waiting for you, and you're gonna be shocked. Say, "Oh my God, I never thought that our marriages work. I thought it was just easy, just wear the wedding dress and bring friends, enjoy drink party, everything, and go home and have sex. That's it." No, but you don't know what's waiting for you until when you get there, and then things start coming out. Oh, I don't want it. I want out. I want out. You as a man, because you were not ready. And now you're creating a lot of stress, you're creating a lot of problem, and now you want out. Everything out. I want out because that's the best option. And I also did a series on my YouTube channel about divorce. God never made room for divorce. Never. He never made room because he never wanted that to happen. That is why a lot of people cannot process divorce. Their body cannot handle divorce. A lot of people end up in depression. A lot of people commit suicide. A lot of people go crazy because God never made a room because he never wanted it in the first place. So he never made room. for it. So you have to process that. You have to go through that literally. And only by you connecting to God and God being your everything, and He will help you when you're going through your pain to make you feel better, because He's the only one that can help you through that. Okay, so that is all I have for you guys today. And I'm going to still continue this whole week again. We have like maybe 2 more weeks of this that we're going to do about men. Are you ready to be a husband? Are you ready to be a husband? So please, please share this to somebody, tag somebody with it. And also, if you're a man here, listen to it carefully. Take a note, things that you need to actually work on. That if you don't already working on it, or if you don't already have it, work on it. And if you work on it, you get into a relationship. Even if you're in a relationship right now, it's not too late. You can still work on those things, and you can fix your relationship while you're still in it if you put these things in place. Okay, so thank you guys so much, and God bless you guys, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow at the same time here on my Facebook page. And God bless you, and I love you. Peace.